You're the whale, hey? It doesn't get up without you.
5 players remain with a top prize of 65,000 up for grabs. Previous prize will be 40,000, 80,000 good and 80,000 big 180. Yeah, please shuffle up a deal. This tournament has
Is it a sunglasses kind of day? Should I get them out today?
Shuffle up a deal.
Yeah. I mean, I put my hood up as well.
Sunny equity is the thing.
Pretty business.
That is business.
I thought you were saying all in.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking damn.
Yeah. He's like, I want to play my advantage.
You covered me, right? The stacks are wrong online, yeah.
Yeah, my stack was on
You covered me, right?
I think they fixed it though. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, what? I'm fork and shit.
Bro,
so
you got ripped off that hand.
Did I get ripped off?
That King Jack hand?
Yeah. Well, I didn't
You
protect.
had 6-7.
I didn't feel my cards tight enough.
He knows.
She fucked it straight.
He fucking knows.
Yeah, she
He
saw my
How
hand.
did she change?
She saw my hand. I didn't feel my cards. I didn't protect my cards properly. It's the only explanation. Yeah.
Maybe it's that you suck.
That's.
I think you have lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, I was shaking under the table.
Were you like,
I was like, oh my god, I've got a straight. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god, she's got a straight as well.
Maybe you're just thinking out loud and she could read your thoughts.
Yeah.
Look at this. He can just relax. He's got time banks. He doesn't have to panic.
Jen
He's
Possum.
like, have a conversation.
Jen Possum.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Where's Hashem?
Yeah, get Hashem here. Ask him if I can solve one of my time banks.
Yeah. Mate, Hashem strikes me as a man who can facilitate deals.
Listen, you should be able to sell your time banks. It's your... It doesn't affect anything. Besides you having
Yeah, I mean, you saw. I took all that time to make a wrong decision. So it's like...
Yeah. You might be better off without them.
Listen, I think the card reader didn't read my cards wrong. I think that's what
I appreciate it, yeah. Seven can look like an 8, a club can look like a diamond, you know how it is.
I mean, I'd probably had that.
Ace, 8 of diamonds. What do you do?
10 seconds.
For that size, I could not. 8-0, Jen.
8-0.
8-0. Actually, no. I did check raise double barrel Jack 8 and got Jack 9 got King 9 to follow actually. So.
Yeah.
8-1.
Sicko. How much did you start?
2.1.
I'll go to
I got
fold
now.
nines in a single raise spot. I go to fold nines in a single raise spot, but in a three-way spot, she didn't want to.
Oh, that was crazy.
I fucked the hand up, so I just decided to fold on the flop.
That's crazy.
Not compound the mistake.
Compound the mistake. Yeah,
I mean, that
3
makes
outs.
sense. I like that reasoning.
One fold.
I would have just called down and hoped for the best.
Thanks, coach.
No, this is a banger. I don't know what it is.
Four raises, 160. 5 fold.
Thank you.
I'm gonna play today.
Yeah, you got into the midday match.
Forward check?
Think you finished second.
Yeah, sick. How fun.
Yeah.
Keep on tables. Keep fucking lapping it up, eh?
Yeah. It was the same actually last time we came to it. We made 2 or 3 final tables. And I played one morning in Gold Coast.
He's just good. He just needs
4
to get
bets,
in like
220.
a massive volume of hands, right? And then
You got
you
outs.
kind of start talking about stuff a bit clearly.
He has played a massive volume of hands online.
Thought I was dead.
You had actually a lot of outs. Surprisingly.
He's playing like
What hand makes sense? What hand makes sense? No, more. What hand?
How can I have more?
It's like,
You have more outs.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Can
You
you
did
do
some
Deuces,
Belarus.
yeah. You actually have a lot of outs.
Even just
More
like
than
a
more
pot.
than you know.
Yeah, yeah. The bots are like good,
Yeah.
like decent. They're just gonna pot some turns every time. Won't happen here.
I was like, here's this check raise to 600 coming. I was like, here we go.
Two folds.
Here we go.
Here we go. Call one.
River jam.
River, like a counterfeit. You jam with the best hand.
I only do that when I don't use my cards.
Ah, true. Yeah, fucking thanks for that, bro. I copped it because of that. Unbelievable. Because of his no look triple off or whatever on the all diamond board.
Yeah. Kill called you.
I was like, when I jammed, I was like, oh, I wish Jared had like 5 time banks. I don't like that he's only got 1.
500.
I would have called with that one. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? I feel like you're more likely to call with no time banks. Because it's like, you know what I mean?
One fold.
Because
Because that initial.
Because then it's like, oh fuck, like I'm running out of time. Like, oh well, it's a call. You know what I mean? At least like more time banks gives you a chance to like.
Think of plausible lines.
Yeah.
And like what I did with none.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I probably would have. If I had none, I would have called. That was obviously my inclination.
Like against Nudge. Yeah. That's why I was like, applying that same theory. Like, if you had no time banks against Nudge and you called, and you had none against me and you called right.
Maybe if you guys fought with me to get more time banks, you'd be in an advantage.
Yeah.
Like you're all a bunch of dogs.
80.
Yeah, the no look really did not help your 6
No, I don't. I'd say it didn't help. No. I just got completely soul wrecked and red yesterday in every spot, and I don't know how I still have chips, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
You wrecked me as well. You checked back a straight as well when I had a boat. Except,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, am I just
I
like...
even had a bolt blocker out of 10.
How did you not bet, how did you not
It's
bet
like-
that? How did you not bet that? That's crazy how you didn't bet that.
So these guys just board pairs, they just check straights, like.
Bro, the chicken
Yeah,
match straight to
yeah.
the-
Like
I'm
it's
just face
PLO
up.
vibes, you know? Like, oh, fuck.
No.
You guys have a boat now.
I have a really good hand.
Might as well shout.
I had a very good hand. It's pretty.
An
as well.
all-in hand?
An all-in hand.
Me on mine.
So red yet again.
Soul red yet again. You probably
Jack
folded.
10 in
Yeah.
there.
Ace Jack's in the bin.
Big blind.
Someone asked me about it right now. Somebody else asked me. I didn't fucking.
That was me.
5 raises 160. 8 folds. One fold. 2 folds.
Nine 1.
4 folds.
It doesn't count if you fold 3.
Nah, but I'm over folding because I don't want to get wrecked post flop.
Okay, if you fold it for that reason, you don't. Yeah,
No, he always folds 10-8 suited in the
Yeah.
personally.
Bro, the amount of people, I reckon I had like more than 10 people messaging me like, bro, like what the hell? Like you suck. Like you're
Yeah,
so
you
shit.
do, yeah.
Why?
Messaged me and they all said, you suck.
Bro,
Even though you,
Just like a blanket.
like nothing, you didn't do anything,
Yeah, I
you
know.
just checked.
It's not like I min check raise turn and then check river or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally check called twice
8 folds.
Yeah,
in a limp pot.
You
In a
gotta
limp
check
pot.
raise the turn, mate.
I can't though. If I check raise to 700, she calls.
Yeah.
Then like there's like 2.5 in the middle, and I have like 900k
1
back
raises
on the
to
river.
160.
You know what I mean? It's like I can't even check raise unless I check jam. Check jam would have worked.
No,
Would you have called for check
raise
jam?
small. Check raise small, jam river.
Probably. With a straight? Oh, okay.
2 folds.
I don't know.
Check raise turn. Get it in.
I mean, you're dead versus Queen Jack.
Listen, she
4
checked back
folds.
straight on the river. That's dead. That's dead.
5 folds.
Because I'm the fucking best. Don't you forget it.
What a getaway. What a getaway.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Going
tuning
as fast
in
me, man.
to our
I think
day
so.
3 coverage of the
This is not explanation.
$2,500
Actually,
AUD buy-in Goliath here at the Eatons Hill
I would pretend
Centre in Brisbane. Back to our roots where it all started here at Eatons Hill. All our flagship events, the Players' Champs, the Grind, the main event, the Goliath, it's all back.
Who was it?
A lot of viewers already tuning in to watch 5 of the best players in the country go at it. Just have a quick look. 6.6 million
Oh, Michelle?
USD in cashes between the 5 of these players.
He beast mode it.
And with how the AUD dollar is travelling at the moment, it's probably close
Post
to
another message. Bro, fix your tail.
10.5 million Australian in total cashes between
And
the
then
5
screenshot,
of
as if I
these
haven't
players.
seen the screenshot or something.
Pretty unbelievable. Braden Jinx with you to bring you the coverage of the final 5 all the way down to a winner tonight. 40k, 80k, 80k is the level we're playing. 1 hour levels. And we won't be going home today until there's a winner of the Goliath.
Live cash game, but he lost his squad. And I'm like, I reckon you'll try it here. Check raise on 10k, and I'm like, all in. I'm like, I think you'll try, I'm all in. And then he's like,
A lot of chatter around the room in the morning and afternoon,
Wait, is this
all
pre or
based on
post?
the last 45 minutes of
Oh, yeah,
play last
Dry
night
Kings,
and
yeah.
just having a listen
Yeah.
to the players talking amongst themselves. Since coverage has started today, that's all they've spoken about too. Mainly Gents
He's
check
like
back
talking to
with the
himself when he's
straight,
sleeping.
and also Gents 4-bet with the King 4 suited. Got a lot of traction, got sent in that hand a lot of times this morning. The 7-6 versus the Queen Jack. Pretty incredible. And it's on the tip of the players' tongues as well. I
told you guys.
That might quiet down
I'm a
shortly
station,
as
so my
they
instinct's
start to
always
get
to
serious
call.
and
And
realise
then I
they're
beat
playing
that out
for
of me with time.
65k, but they do seem to be a chatty group, which is good for us for the stream.
I've never seen Naj so passionate about something. Give him time, Alex. Get him to
Also,
bluffing.
the Jared folding the Queen Jack to Naj's 7-4 on the King 10-9 board. They run out 5 diamonds. Naj put Jared in with a pair of 7s, no diamond. Got Jared to fold. The last hour of play last night was pretty incredible. And if last night has anything to do with it, we've got a great day of poker in store. And the initial stacks on the Facebook page this morning weren't completely correct. They've been
4 raised, 160.
rectified. Much movement has occurred since the start of play as Liam Jehu picks up a king and a king. We know Naj is going to be at the very least defending this one.
8 raised, 510.
It's a 3-bet. Liam does double check. You do have kings. Looks like he's going to come with call, potentially. Yeah. That's a call. There's already 1.1 million in this pot. Fireworks will ensue. Naj is 3-bet out of the big with 5-6. Liam with kings. That's about as safe for pocket kings as you're likely to see. Liam holding the king of clubs as well. Naj will continue. It's a big size for a 3-bet pot, I'd say.
But that
Naj really looking to put the pressure on.
That was, you were really testing my patience.
Liam
then.
probably going to come with just call. Does, and we'll see a turn.
Yeah.
This is a huge pot already. Naj drawing close to dead, but he does turn equity because it is Naj. Any 8 will make him a straight. Liam's still in command and control of the pot. Let's see how Naj, that's all in. Liam will snap this off, and he's got to dodge an 8 to stay alive here in the Goliath. This is a 4.8 million chip pot. An 8 or an 8 only will send Liam home back to Melbourne. The way Naj was getting those runouts last night, wouldn't be surprised to see anything happen here. But Liam in command and control of this pot, the river, here he comes.
7 of diamonds over here with the kings for them. Naj has an 8 and an 8 only on the river save. We'll see the river.
Natural 8.
The river tennis
And that
save.
is
Liam with a double.
a 10. Liam Jehu now, I reckon, has the chip lead. That's a huge. Oh, wait, no, I apologise. I'm 100k short there. Naj still in control, but Liam Jehu only one big blind behind as he propels himself to just north of 4.8 million. That is a massive turn of events here.
1,425. Yep.
And if I didn't turn a 7 or 8, I'd give up. What happened?
1,004,24.
4, 25.
Naj didn't come to fold today.
Thanks, bro.
And Liam, who started the day as our short stack,
Now you can't say
is
she
now
cheated you by hand.
Pardon?
Now you can't
Yeah.
say she cheated you
45k
by
off, so one small
True.
blind
Just gave you.
there.
She just gave you a
As
massive
Liam
blow.
Jehu
That
and
was a
Naj
cool.
basically have identical stacks. In
Oh,
the start for the Melburnian, he has risen to
Hold deck.
nearly equal first in chips after starting today as the short stack. We mentioned this table has 6.6 million USD in caches. Pretty amazing. And Liam will be looking. Liam does have the smallest record here, given he is probably significantly younger than everybody else. He'll be looking to add 65k, which would take him about even with Jennifer Castle, $400,000 in USD in caches over her career. An amazing achievement. GPI Female Australian Player of the Year last year, and she will be again this year,
One raise. 208.
barring some type of miracle.
8
But I dare say Liam would be looking to add 65k, getting pretty close to 400k in caches as well. And as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, 10 million AUD in caches between our final 5. Wouldn't be going anywhere.
You got 5 mil now.
Yeah,
about
about that, yeah.
Where's the gut shot when you need it, man?
Well, you got the gut shot. You just didn't complete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to come in.
4 raise. 160.
Did your
5
best.
fold.
You did your best.
8 fold. 1 fold.
No time.
2 fold.
And the raise and take it might seem an insignificant hand, but it does propel Liam Jehu officially into the chip lead. 5 million chips, closely followed by Naj. Tournament poker is a wild thing. Anything can change at the drop of a hat. Naj did not come here to fold, or die wondering, really. Still a long way to go here in our $2,500 Goliath
I mean, I'm just
buy-in.
gonna snap fold like King Jack and Jack 10 and all those hands, right? My flush draws can't fall off.
8 raise to 160. 1 fold. 2 fold.
On the button too. Not fair.
4 fold.
Ace high board, I would have jumped off the stage. Wouldn't have put it past Catherine. There we go, I'm back to being salty again.
Didn't even put the 8 down. I'm
You
still
even-
mad that I
you-
could have put the
You
8
didn't
down.
jump off the stage
I
for a
know.
crowd surf when he doubled up.
When?
He doubled up there. He could have jumped off to the stage into the crowd.
The crowd. They were highly supportive. They went wild.
On an ace high board what happens. Because obviously I have to go for my hand.
Yeah, and I would have just put the seatbelt on, mate.
Can you pull it down?
Would have put the seatbelt on. I need an ace 2 kind of board. Turn king, like
160.
that would be.
You probably get a double up on that one.
I'd say.
like, don't put a 7 or an 8 on the turn.
I would have liked it to come, make him work for an ace, jack, 10, brick. No, just go bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
One call.
I mean, once he called
Two
flop,
fold.
he's done with it on a 7 or an 8 game. So, now, give up. He called me
Equity.
Four
out.
fold.
And I got equity, I was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
I've come this far.
True.
You need to be able to go home and look at yourself in the mirror.
Jen here with a big spot. Pocket jacks. Working with just under 20 bigs, I'd say. Could just see her 3-bet or rip it in.
800.
Either or. Comes with 3-bet. Naj really doesn't like folding, but this isn't going to be enough. Toby will win this one as well. Nice pick up there for Jen.
Oh,
over
sorry,
3.6.
Right here.
Did you win, Jen?
What about Jen's check back yesterday with the 7-6? Liam said to me privately he must have to work on his life tells. There was no other explanation. It was pure sorcery. And it's taken him a couple of, probably within 10 minutes, he's made up for that in the first hand via Naj.
Two fold.
Doubling up through our chip leader with pocket kings. And he's on the bike here again, 7-8 suited.
Full raise. 160. 5 fold.
Naj 3-bet the 3-bet the 5-6 before, and now comes again here with the king 10-0. He's relentless, Naj. Liam isn't a folder either, but in the weeds here. Let's see what Liam decides to do. This will be a chip lead pot no matter what happens, and he will come with call. Already 1.2 in the middle. This is a big pot in the scheme of things. It will propel whoever wins it into quite the chip lead as Naj takes a lead with the 10. He chose a really large size in the previous 3-bet pot. Let's see what he comes with here again. Comes with a third. Liam has flopped a pair. Looks to have some devious intentions here, but does fold.
Full fold.
I folded a pair to you. Yeah, mate. I'm respecting you.
That is a chip lead pot. Anytime these two get entangled, they'll propel themselves to the chip lead. Naj, 58% VPIP. I'm not sure if those stats include yesterday. I'm pretty sure they're just today. However, it's probably about accurate, even if it was yesterday anyway. Saw him raise the queen 2 suited.
Good. Screwed. I could have just had pocket flaps.
Two raise. 160. 4 fold. 5 fold. 8 fold.
If you are in the room or listening, staying in nearby accommodation or living in Brisbane, anywhere within drivable distance, we have just announced a rake-free satellite for today's feature bounty event. It'll be a direct satellite into our 1650 APT feature bounty tournament. That has a guaranteed prize pool of 50k. So no matter what happens, 50k will be in that prize pool from APT. But I know everyone loves to not pay rake. This is your chance. Get down to Brisbane to play the $205 rake-free Deal Adult Satellite, securing a seat straight into the 1650 APT feature bounty event.
1 raises to 280.
That would have been a dirty way to go.
If you are wondering what
I don't like
that
it when
bounty
people
event
say
is,
the word when it's
as
coming.
soon as late
Like,
reg
when it goes up
closes,
against, like,
one
6'5",
player from
you
each
need an
table
8 and
will
only an 8.
be
Keep saying
given
the word
a
eight.
bounty.
I don't like hearing that.
Like
You know what I mean? It's like,
have
it's
a
like,
bounty
you
on
know,
their
it's
head.
like, oh, all you say is
And
like,
if you
oh,
knock out
Pair
that
of
one
Kings
player,
is
you'll
like
get your
against
whole
non-stranger,
buy-in back.
you know? I
That's
don't like hearing, like, he needs an 8, an 8 on the
$1,650
riddle.
will go
Give
to
him-
you
you
if
knock
you
him out
knock
of
out
the
your
tournament,
player,
he
but
gets an 8. It's
that
like,
only comes in
but I don't
after
want to hear it.
late
It's like,
reg.
it's like the odds go up every time I hear the word 8.
I do remember playing
No,
some of
keep
those.
doing
No,
it.
it's just like
Time
superstition.
like
You know what I mean, right?
inspiration
Like, you don't like
crown
hearing it
there.
because it's like
We
getting
used to have
channeled.
like a
The
survivor
energy's getting
bounty where
channeled.
one player would have the
playing
bounty,
sevens
you'd
at
get
a
your
caps
buy-in
table.
back.
Yeah.
But a little
Yeah,
play on that
everyone
there,
looks at you like,
16,
what is
50,
this
50k guaranteed, and if you knock out one player assigned on your table, you'll get your whole buy-in back. But if you want to play the small price of $205, rake free, jump in our satellite room upstairs
My
this
few
afternoon.
That would have been dirty beat.
Some interaction here between these two hands.
I'd throw myself off the stage first.
Jared not going anywhere just yet.
2 folds.
What do you mean? He's the one that gave you the 1-outer against me yesterday. He dealt you that 9 on the turn. And he's still calling him a mock. Come on. You guys just forget the times that you get lucky. You only need to remember the times you get unlucky. That's the problem.
We'll see, I guess.
Interesting turn here for Toby to proceed on.
3.
Comes with check.
1 check.
Like Thatcher was going to fire a
10 seconds.
barrel into the turn, but decides against it and comes with check. And Toby will improve to 2 pair. Not that he needed it.
Card reader's wrong, bro. So that link called 920 against you.
10 seconds. 1
BBB.
check.
That's it. That means. Oh, that means King of Clubs is fucked. That means like on the button it'll say that I have King 2-0.
2 check.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I had King 9-0 and it's saying I have 9-2-0. So it'll say I have King 2-0 probably in the button. Instead of Kings.
Yeah.
I feel like I was being set up then.
That's what guys.
I feel like I was being set up.
Trying to make it up.
Can never make Liam happy.
Me.
I'm happy if I win one. La 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 la. I'm really happy.
Perpetual crying man.
Perpetual cranky man.
Right into the other.
Right.
Do you have Jack of Hearts then?
No.
Jack
Alright,
of
look.
Hearts was out there then?
Yeah, it was 9.
ace.
That wasn't a heart.
Yeah.
Bear with us once we work through our sound issues here. If you are at home and listening on your phone or your headphones, do let me know if the table mic's too high or too low. I'm experimenting putting the table mic up so we can actually hear the players talk through hands because it's quite a chatty group, but if you can't hear me, it makes it a little pointless, so do let me know. I'll try and keep an eye on that myself as well. That mic is right under Toby's arm, so when he ruffles the chips, it's quite loud. I'm trying to be conscious of that to give you the best experience at home.
Heads up.
Still 5 remain here in the $2,500 buy-in. The Goliath. Last series at Brisbane, the TLPT. Didn't hold these flagship events that have been
Shame it wasn't that
part
that
of
goes big
the
bet.
Australian Poker Tour for some time, but
your
we're
hand.
back where it all began here at Eatons Hill. We've got the grind, the Drakakis Players Championship taken out by Jigsy Reyes.
Effective nuts. The hand I go back to.
And of course,
I wouldn't
the main event. If you do win the main event,
get
you win
it,
around
but it
50 to
didn't quite work
60k,
out like that.
as well as a banner in the room. And I can see the banners that have,
Yeah, close
I can see the banners from last year have been put up. The very beautiful Nathaniel Hutton and Luke Edwards, our main event champions from last year, are in the room. And up on the roof, you will also get an event named after you at the next series, which is going to be in Sydney at the end of July. And I dare say that Luke will be around for his Six Max event. I think it's on Friday, the Luke Edwards Champion Six Max tournament. So along with 50k, you'll get a tournament named after you at the next series. So Nathaniel just missed out on that by one, as we see Jen's partner Bert Perry on the stream doing what he can to help Jen with a glass of water there.
Oh, wait. Oh. No.
One of Australia's best, in fact, was the best last year. Oh no, or the year before. GPI ranked #1 player in Australia. I think that was the year before. And he might have got pipped just last year. Great achievements by the poker couple, as Jen sits on 3.4 million, 17% of the chips in
I know
play.
we're playing against each other, but you shouldn't do that, bro.
Yeah, I think it'll say I had King 2-0 on the button then versus Naj as well.
The 2 is just like permanently lodged.
I don't know. I mean, I had the King of Clubs, so I'm assuming that it'll say I had King 2 on the button.
Sorry guys, 3 of clubs.
Card exposed. It looked to be the 3 of clubs.
I think the card reader is wrong as well. One of the cards, I think. It was on the stream before, yeah.
Did it happen again with the
I don't know if it happened again.
They did test they tested the deck before we started today.
Right.
Was it wrong today or was it wrong
Just then.
yesterday?
No, just
Oh,
then, yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to pretend I didn't let 9 deuce off. No, I'm kidding. It definitely is wrong. I think the King of Clubs is coming up as a deuce. I think. It did once at least. I don't know if it happened multiple times. No, the one before. Like, so it was like a few hands before. I had
Call.
I had King 9 and it said I had 9 suited.
Call. See one call. 270, right? Yeah. Yep. Heads up. That's 225. 225.
Naj raises out of the small. Toby decides to defend the Jack 2. Flops bottom pair. And after we decide to call with a hand like this, probably not going to be going anywhere on the flop, as it is as good for pocket 8s as you'd want. Toby still with bottom pair. Interesting defend here from Toby. Haven't seen him get too out of line. Was more than happy to mix things up with Naj last night before our final table in some big 3-bet pots. Wasn't going to die wondering.
One check. So don't bet 410.
Naj decides to
King Jack.
value bet and gets called off by Toby's Jack 2.
Four fold. Five fold. Raise 160. One calls. 160. Two calls. Three runners. One check. Two check. Two bets 240. One fold.
Does appear we do have a potential issue with one card. Naj raising the 5-2-0 on the button, but even though he definitely is capable of doing that, he had a 7-4 yesterday. Potentially could be a king, but we're not too sure. We're working on that for you now. It would make a lot more sense if Toby had King Jack in the previous hand instead of Jack 2, but we'll work on that and try and bring you all the correct information as Naj gets the check mark with the 5. Jared misses his flush draw.
Two bets 250. Yeah, calls. Fold.
Naj quickly obtaining those chips back that he gave to Liam. Already back over 7. Actually lost the chip lead momentarily to Liam Jehu. Now operating with around 40% of the chips in play, but to be honest, he's had around 40% of the chips in play from 15 left, so pretty incredible. Jen folds the 7-6 suited. It's over to Naj with ace-9. Toby's looked to get after Naj from the start of our coverage, basically, so this could be interesting. Does decide to lay this one down. It will be Liam Jehu defending the 7-6 suited. Oh goodness me, 9-6 suited. It's too early in the day to be making those mistakes, as 9-6 of clubs dominated by Naj currently, but we'll see a flop.
Hands up.
Nowhere to go there for Liam. One small bit will be taking this one down. Just those stats you'll see coming up: aggression frequency, VPIP, and most of the other ones we'll put up are just cover today's hands, so they're not yesterday's stream of the day before combined. So you'll see, you know, Jen Castle has 0% aggression frequency. That's just because we've only covered 12 hands today, or 20 hands, or whatever it is. So those stats are wildly skewed off a small sample size. Don't worry too much about that. But Naj did have a 56% VPIP. I reckon that one's accurate. The rest maybe not so much.
160. 2 raise, 160. Fold.
All in.
5's all in. 2 folds. Change.
Thank you.
Big one, please. Fold. Fold. 4 fold.
To recap from around the room, our players are back in the Hashem Deep Stack. $25,000 up top in that tournament. And it looked like from the start of the day with 15 left, 2 players had 50% of the chips. Ben Turner and Lachlan Crilly with 2.5 million, and the next biggest stack was about 800K. It's crazy stuff. Just kind of have a look at how that one's going. It looks like they're on the final table, and Crilly and Ben Turner are seated next to each other. Of course, 3.5K in bounties added into the prize pool for that one for APT if he knocked out an ambassador. Nathaniel Hutton replaced one of the ambassadors as our previous main event winner was the last bounty to fall, and it looks like there's 6 left down there in the back of the room.
Looks what?
Like
Messy. Oh, Lionel.
As after a turn,
Yeah,
check. Turn is check back
Yeah, he
call.
does.
Jen with
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
pair
Yeah.
improves to the worst possible full house.
Yeah, I played with him before.
Let's see how Naj approaches this one. I dare say he'll be firing. He has 4 high. We haven't usually seen him get to showdown with the worst hand and not bet basically ever. And he comes with half pot, just over half.
Yeah. Because I actually didn't follow that hand, but we're in on the clock.
I'm feeling Jen might pick this one off.
Haven't I done Twitch? What's
I
going on?
know. I like to play pots with one of the other guys.
I don't know.
Wouldn't blame her for going either way, but she does do.
And then his line was.
She does put the chips in the middle, and she'll win with 2's full as Naj's 4 high goes into the mark. Another nice chip up there for Jen, who's going to take herself to second in chips, overcoming Liam here with 4.2 million. Naj still working with around 40% of the chips in play. did relinquish that chip lead for about 2 hands to Liam. Didn't take him long to get back up again. As Thatcher is now our short stack, just over 20 big blinds at 40, 80k here in our $2,500 Goliath. Buying $65,000 up top, top 12 paid. 5 remaining.
Heads up. One check. Four bets, 110. I see one call.
Nothing doing there for Toby's 9-4 suited. Liam takes down another pot. As Thatcher, now after paying the big blind, working with 17 bigs. Was short for a long time on the bubble. Jared saw him not take a few spots that we'd usually think Jared would take. Scraped into the money and spun it up from there. He won't want to relive last night's Queen Jack flopped straight versus Naj, but I just heard the players having a good laugh about it just before they were playing, so very easily moved on from as Naj with a whole lot of hand here on the button. King 10 suited. And shows it too. Wants to know that, wants everyone to know, not every time he raises the button it's 7-4 off.
No. Was it?
Yeah.
Ah. 5-7 suited was in trouble, huh?
Boys and girls a little bit more quiet today. It's probably sunk in there playing for 65k. It was pretty chirpy basically from the start of our coverage, 20 down, which was really good. We had Didier and Ridge, Liam basically taking over the commentary for us on the table as Naj with the ace-5 suited, Toby at the absolute top of his range here with pocket jacks. He comes with 3-bet. Geez, I wouldn't be surprised if Naj wanted to take this to the streets. We've seen him do it with way worse than ace-5 suited. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's 5 more. I don't have 5.
Toby's 3-bet to just under 500k. If Naj decides any of this could be some type of bluff, he's going to send the ace-5 suited in, but he might be able to pick this one off. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's coming with call, and we'll see a flop.
Heads up.
SBR is already 1.5 as Naj outflops Toby again. Naj's flat call there could give Toby a way to get out of this hand. As it's very difficult for Naj to miss flops here. Does have that backdoor flush draw as well. This board's going to suit Toby a hell of a lot though, so we'll be continuing.
2-1 bets. 280.
If Naj just decides to call, the stack to pot ratio will be less than 1. But on this board, be interesting to see how Toby starts to proceed here. 7 of hearts turn. Toby with 1.4 million behind. Toby's reaching again here. Maybe he's just sizing up how many chips he has left.
See one bets.
Fires a second barrel. It's good for 850k, leaves 590 behind. Barring any type of miracle or Jack on the river, Naj will be already taking down a monstrous pot. Let's see if Toby just decides to check this one back, but Naj improves now to 2 pair. If there was any version of him folding, that version has now disappeared. Toby probably will be checking this one back, but he's such an experienced player. Let's see what he comes with. He's got about 6 bigs behind if he decides to check. Could have been what that turn size was all about. Let's see what he does. If he goes all in, it's all over. This one-time bank chip is used. This is captivating here. I thought Toby might have checked this one back already.
All in?
I think he said all in. He has. Naj has rivered, improved to 2 pair. There's no version of him folding this hand. He puts it in, and Toby Joyce is going home. Wowee, Toby puts the last of his chips in with jacks on the ace-high board. Naj, who improved to 2 pair on the river, and that'll be it for Toby Joyce. The Irishman adds $14,700 to his monstrous $2.5 million worth of cashes in live tournament poker.
Sorry, Naj. You deserve them.
And that'll be it for
what if
remaining
River Brick?
in our Goliath.
I feel like you were calling, yeah. It was super tough otherwise.
The boys just
would've been-
discussing whether he would have called if there was no
Yeah, if you get
2 pair on the river, if he didn't improve to 2 pair.
you still got jam
Let's
ace.
have a listen to what they're saying.
Everyone, the APT feature bounty turbo satellite is starting in 3 minutes. 205.
Of course, they stop talking as soon as we tune in. But Naj is going to have 100 start stacks here with 4 left. 9.7 million. As he folds a 10-4 suited. It will say our graphics when we use this 4-color deck, under the gun always stays no matter what the position is, but we're 4-handed. Naj is in the cutoff, but it will say under the gun, so don't let that confuse you, as Jared Thatcher is going to move the last of it in with ace-8 offsuit.
Slow roll me. No!
I reckon we would lose to Jared's Taylor hand if we put ours together. I'm not even joking. Like our Taylor hand would lose to Jared's hand.
And I just win with ace high. What would have to happen? Just.
Actually, we would have had Jack 7-3-3 rainbow.
Yeah, but it comes 4-4-4-4.
Yeah, I still think we would have.
Oh no,
yeah,
PLO though. Yeah. A.
Nah, but you're playing a hold'em hand.
Yeah, I know.
We're playing a
Oh, I'm
PLO
allowed
hand,
to play
so-
one.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to play
because you're
one.
playing a hold'em hand. Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
you have to. Okay, that's fair then. I get a slight advantage. I'm gonna counterfeit for the first time ever in PLO.
World first.
Or can you get counterfeited, or am I not thinking? Can you get counterfeited in PLO?
Can you counterfeit? Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's not like counterfeit as such, but like it's like not called a counterfeit, but you get like redrawn basically. Like let's say you flop a set, and it comes like, let's say you have threes on ace jack 3, and it comes running ace ace, and then it's like now you lose pocket kings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not counterfeit, but like it is sort of. You know?
It's pretty. Yeah. It's likely just as annoying.
Yep.
No, way more annoying. Because you no danger of bluffing off your threes there as well.
Yeah.
At least you can bluff off when you get counterfeit and hold them. Lock the boats. Want the shirt off my back, Matt?
Yeah, right. Did I tell him? If I win, do I give you 18 jumbo?
There's a bounty, man.
Spilled a bit of dumpling. A bit of dumpling and it spilled all over. What do you got for me? So dumb. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, 2 overs?
Sevens. Nah. 6-6, A6, King 6. I'm good. Fuck, I'm good. Good shape against all those hands. But behind against all of them.
If you are just tuning in, of course you can see we've got 4 left, but if you are in the vicinity of Eatons Hill, get down for our rake-free satellite into the 1650 bounty tournament. $205 entry, rake-free, as Jared jams the small. Won't be looked up by Liam. And if you do bink off a satellite ticket, you get into the 1650, 50k guaranteed bounty. And not a regular bounty. There's no bounties in play until late registration closes. A player will be selected at random from each table, and if you knock that person out, you'll get your whole buy-in back, $1,650. Guaranteeing 50k for that one there, as Naj just under 10 million chips now. Very formidable force.
Yeah, that one kick is a large abyss, yeah.
It's like King Queen and like Ace Jack. It's just like, it's not even close.
Jen decides against defending the 4-2 suited. Naj now officially has half of the chips in play with 4 left. Looking to add his second APT trophy, maybe. I reckon he won the 25k. Could be corrected. He might have won a grind or a Goliath in between that, but I know he won a big TLPT event in Sydney.
Yeah. Tripled off jacks in a 3-bet pot.
The first table's over. Commentated, it was pretty incredible. Naj, Malcolm Trainer, Didier, all in the mix.
Probably versus you.
And I remember him winning that. Check to see if he can any other APT trophies there, but he's well on his way to at least a second here in the Goliath, and $65,000 will come with that as well. As Jen decides to limp the Queen 10 suited. Naj will probably look to raise this one up. Does so with the 3 deuce.
$198 now.
How did I squeeze that extra 5% out of you? How did I do
Just
that?
give you a little bit of juice to help knock them out, hey?
That was sick. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and you missed out on the first bullet.
I'm in profit versus you, Cube. I'm still saying that 1% I saved. I'm in profit. That's profit for me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible. We do that. Yeah, yeah, sick. Yeah. No, I've chipped down, but I got a ladder. I had a dumb.
Jen will take.
No.
I'd like
one
to take a
down.
5-minute break.
I thought Nars rivered 2 pair there. That might have been the issue with the deuce we had before. Did say he rivered 2 pair, but the pot was shipped to Jen. Interesting. Could be a card reader problem. As Naj had the check mark on our software here, so
So unlucky, I'm sorry.
are the players on a break here potentially? No, we have a dealer change coming in. Catherine
When you had
to
eights and my
replace
threes
Jacob.
was closed on the button, I had pocket threes. So and he had king jack, and he rivered the king or whatever it was. Otherwise, there would have been I open button, you 3-bet. He just marks, and I fold you when you pot. He saved me 2 big blinds. Hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, not too sure about that. We have had some viewers report potentially there is an issue with one of the deuces in the deck. This is a spot I think Naj would raise the 3-2, but he did river 2 pair, so I'm thinking maybe he didn't have it or he's misread his hand, but it could likely be a card problem. We will get a stack adjustment here with 4 remaining. And we are going to replace those decks, so it could be a card reader problem that our loyal viewers are on the ball with. Will certainly make our job a lot easier up here if the cards are correct. But it does look like we are having a deck change, and we will be going on some type of break. Yes, so confirming, we're just going to change those.
falling with the time bank. Just a fucking shove in Jared's face.
Yeah, it's alpha move with the time banks.
Two raises, 200. 4-4.
So we welcome you back here after the break. We've re-registered our decks and should have everything working, and our $2,500 Goliath buy-in, 4 remaining, 65k up top. And what a time to rejoin you as Jennifer Castle flops the Stone Cold Nuts versus Jared's Button Open. Has some interaction here as well. Backdoor flush draw. It's got a gutter to chop, but that's his only way out. Does Jen lead here? That's what my graphics are telling us. Jen leads, Jared calls. Yep, that's correct. So Jen leads 200k, Jared calls. Turns a flush draw here. So he has found a path to victory. It is a paired board now, but Jen led the flop. So let's see what she comes with here on the turn. Sizing up Jared's stack. SBR is about 1.3-ish. Just over. Jen fires again for 425k, a third of Thatcher's stack. He's not going anywhere though after this turn flush draw. Got a gutter as well. Lino up here and watching that it would be a chop, but Jared's going nowhere. And an SBR of 0.5. It's getting pretty dicey now for Thatcher. Is the flush draw bricks off, and Jennifer Castle has the check mark, puts Jared in. And he hasn't folded just yet. He looks quite inquisitive here after Jen flops the nuts and calls. Jared Thatcher calls it off with ace high, and Jennifer Castle knocks out Thatcher in third place. Goodness gracious me, he called quite quickly in the end.
Actually, no, I would have hero
Huge hero call there by Jared Thatcher, and just like that, as soon as I jump into the booth, $19,800 will go into the pocket of Jared Thatcher. But what a way to go. Gives Jen credit for enough bluffs in that spot after she goes lead, jam, and calls it off with the ace high. And it's home time for Jared Thatcher. 3 remaining in the Goliath.
She might have folded because the board was paired after flopping it. So. I'm surprised she didn't fold.
I did think about
or check back.
checking it down.
Yeah.
It's scary,
That's
man.
crazy. The board pair, did you see that?
Yeah, isn't that a standard check?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that plays as a pure check.
I think if he went all in on the turn, she would fold.
100%. Board pair.
Crazy.
5 calls. 8 raise, 400.
As we just had to get our breath there after Jared's hero call there on the river. We do lose him in third place, and Naj back doing what he does best, out flopping his opponents.
Please, guys. guess?
Then,
Liam? Five raised, 200. 8 fold. Four calls. Four check. Five bets, 125. Four folds.
Few difficulties up here, but we are back. Jared's hero call sent our systems into meltdown, but we're back now, and we are three-handed. Naj with over 50% of the chips in play.
205 dollars to enter for the 1650 APT feature bout.
Four calls. Five raised, 325.
All in.
Four is all in.
As Liam has limp jammed the ace 5-0, and we have an all-in call here. This is a huge pot. Just missed the action as we were sorting things out here. It looks like Liam Jehu has limped. Jen Castle has raised, and she'll need to... Liam's at risk. We've got some opportunities here, but Liam's limp jammed the ace 5-0. Backdoor clubs as well. And he's 6, 7, or 5 for Liam to stick around, and that will be GG's for the Melburnian in the chat. Things have transpired pretty quickly here as Naj now with 11 million and Jen Castle 8.3. This is going to be a pretty epic heads-up battle, and we're going to say goodbye to Liam Jehu in third place. Pretty great run, given he had 25k chips worth of chips at 20k big blind, so just over one big blind. He spun that all the way up. Had the chip lead at one point over Naj, but it's going to be GG's for Liam Jehu in the chat for third in the Goliath. And we're going to be heads up here. We'll get an exact count, see where we're at, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Five calls. 8 check. Eight checks. 5 checks. Eight bets, 200. Five calls. Eight bets, 800. 5 calls. There's a 7. 51. Raises 300.
As it's GG's for Liam Jehu in the chat in third place here, and might be able to do one better for the viewers. I'll get the real Liam Jehu up here in the booth, and we can get him to talk through how his tournament went, and more in particular how he was eliminated. It looked like a limp jam for 30 odd bigs with the ace 5-0. We're just getting back into the booth as that hand occurred, but it will be GG's for Liam, and we're now heads up. And what an incredible heads up battle it's going to be. Two of Australia's best players. Jane Castle, ranked the best female in the country, but she's one of the best players in the country. And Naj, just an outstanding record over so many years. I wouldn't be going anywhere if I were you, and we could be here for quite a while. We are 70 effective deep with players who are so competent. We might not be going anywhere for some time, so strap in. If you're a fan of Australian poker or poker at all, this is the place to be. We're in our final two. The winner gets $65,000. Jen takes the lead here with the ace jack.
It was a limp pot, right? Relax.
We fucking got him.
It was a limp pot. This is gonna take 6 hours to set up. Yeah.
Do you want to shorten the levels if we can, or no?
I've got nothing to do today now. Now I want to extend the levels. I told you guys.
Get it in, babe.
Yeah, get it in life. Real life.
Whoa, he just made 12.
Yeah, tell.
I'm trying to have a listen to the banter between Jen and Naj, but I don't think we're going to be able to get too much from them. The table mic is on the other side of the table, which is why we could hear Toby's very strong accent throughout the duration of this FT. But we're heads up now. Naj with the chip lead, but we're at 70 deep. I think we're 80 deep now, so we're going to be here for some time. Wouldn't be going anywhere. So much love for Jen in the chat. We had listeners tuning and watchers. Sorry, I feel like I'm on radio, but I'm not. We had people tuning in to watch from Chicago, Illinois last night, and another fan from America as well tuning in to watch Jen. So lots of love for her. As we have some interaction here. Jen with 2 overs and the gutter ball. Naj with the open ender. Got back to a flush draw as well. Comes with just over half here. You've seen Naj pick these big sizes throughout the coverage of this event. As the king of spades rolls off on the turn. Let's see how Naj proceeds in this spot. And I will do you one better. Our first guest for the coverage here at APT will be our third place getter, Liam Jehu, who's going to join us in the booth, so don't go too far away. And it's going to be good to get the story of how he actually cashed for third, because when the big blind was 20k, Liam had one solitary 25k chip left, so one big blind, and he spun that all the way up to $27,000. Pretty incredible. Probably the definition, if you're looking for a definition of a chip in a chair, that'd be it. But I'm pretty interested to talk to Liam to see how that actually all occurred. As Jen outflops Naj here again. Naj basically drawing dead. As we are going to welcome one of the best players, definitely in Victoria, but with the amount of cashes he's had in the last 6 months, making his presence felt on the felt. Fresh off third for 27k, as Liam Jehu joins us in the booth. There.
Hey, how you going?
Liam, how you going?
Good, mate. Good.
Good. Congratulations, third for 27,000.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, so I'll take it. Another day in the office, right? So I only had one 25k chip at 10k, 20k big blinds.
I was just telling the viewers that, and I'm actually really interested to hear how did that spin up occur? Do you remember any of the hands after one big blind? Or?
I do. So after I'd lost that big pot, there was an under the gun open and I was in +1, peeled 2 4s and flicked in the chip for less than a call. With 2 4s, managed to flop a set 3 ways, quadruple up, then managed to take down the blinds, like going up to about 160 at 20k big blind, and then did the double there to 350, the double again to 750, and then the double again to 1.5, and all of a sudden I went from 25k to 1.4 mil in about 20 minutes. So
that's unbelievable.
There was some sort of a spin, so it can't be.
How far off the money were you? Do you remember when all that happened?
Very far, like 29 left.
Oh wow!
And it was like 12 paid. So if you had told me when I had a 25k chip, I'd be gone away with the 27k real money, then I would have taken it.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anyone would have believed you if someone said that happened.
Yeah.
Amazing. So talk us through the last hand, because I was just getting back into the booth. We had some difficulties up here, and I just saw the jam. So do you want to talk us through this last hand, as we just might go back to the action? Naj going large here with 8 high. Let's see what this size is. 2.2 million into 1 million. Naj with 2x pot. Jen with top pair in the blender here. 2.2 million with 8 high. Liam, what do you think about this? You reckon she'll flick this one in?
It probably will, heads up. But geez, like, not a great bluff catcher. Having the 5 of clubs does let it go.
Yes. Nice hand.
It's a 6 or a 2 or nothing, so the ace doesn't actually really mean much. It just basically means that when she calls, she won't be chopping V bluffs. But
yeah,
pretty sick play there by Naj.
So talk us through the bust out hand, because I think we missed the action. I just saw you all in, and Jen had called with ace queen. You had ace 5. What took place there?
So it was just BBB. So the distribution was like, I think it was about 8 mil for Naj, 7 mil for Jen. I had about 3.4 at 100k big blind, so about 34 bigs. And obviously they were putting the pressure on me quite a bit, being the shortest. So I hadn't really fought back much against Jen. Like, I hadn't really done any like raising or limp raising or anything. She was ISOing a lot of the big blinds, so I limped the small blind, and she 3.5x I think, and I just limp jammed 34 bigs with ace 5-0. Obviously a little bit high variance, but against the range that contains a lot of ISO bluffs, I was pretty happy to take the spot. I also thought about limp raising less than all in too, but Decided to just limp jam. I didn't want to play out of position in case I was called, or if she decided to, 4-bet versus my limp raise. So just limp jammed and ran into the top of range, unfortunately. But that's poker.
Turned some chop outs.
Flop chop outs actually.
Chop outs.
It flopped chop outs and had a few backdoors working. Got and then just couldn't quite find it. But I think.
You had one big blind. It's hard to
complain.
Yeah,
exactly. I think I'm okay with the play. For 30 bigs, I definitely. If I had maybe like 36 bigs, I think I would have played it differently. But just being under that 35 threshold probably swung it more into like a limp raise or a limp jam for me, really. But
so I've mentioned it quite a bit on coverage. Those that were with us at 3 a.m. local time last night, the last 1 hour of poker that we covered was. I don't really have many words for it. It was insane. What was it like being at the table, first of all, when Naj tripled off the 7 high? I do remember looking at you and Jen after Jared folded, and you both had a wry smile on your face. I thought maybe you both thought in-game it was a bluff. Talk us through that.
I had a feeling it was a bluff. I knew Jared was sitting on a queen high or jack high flush, something like that. Obviously, we know Naj is like super, super capable and will absolutely put anyone in a spot at any given time. So when he did fold, we found it quite funny when we saw Naj pick up his cards and go, "Oh, that's what I have," because he hadn't actually checked his cards. So
You're kidding.
We thought it was funny because he genuinely had not looked at his cards and opened pre and tripled it off and managed to get a jack high flush to fold. So it was pretty funny. And then I copped it next hand because I think Jared even admitted himself he was a little bit tilted, and
you decided to bluff.
I decided to bluff him in a time where he'd had enough and wasn't folding. So I kind of copped a little backlash from Naj, but yeah, it was pretty funny at the time.
Oh, that was a pretty amazing hand. Now talk about there was a big swing for you in one of the last hands of the night where you turned the nut straight versus Jen. Who had the bottom end of the straight, the board paired on the river, which went check. Jen didn't show her hand, so you weren't to know for 25 minutes later. Just talk us through. I remember she went pot on the turn you called, and just talk us through the hand from there.
So she bet 300 into 380 on the turn, and I called. So the pot was 980 on the river, and I had about 1.5 back, and then board pairing 5, and it just went check. I was pretty shocked when I saw, she told me if the turn was a queen I would have got stacked, so I just assumed that it was like 9-8, and then I realized, 9-8, I beat 9-8 on the river, so I was pretty shocked is a bit of an understatement, but we'll keep it tame. Yeah, I was shocked when the cards came up. I thought maybe she had seen my hand by accident and I hadn't protected it properly, or I was just dripping in live tells. I don't know. So I'm gonna like.
Well, it might be the latter because we're not feeding your information, of course.
I had a look at the mirror, and I was like trying to look at my poker face to see if I was giving off any tells. I think I might have been. So, but it was obviously an amazing check back in game, probably like a 1 in 1,000 time to check back, and obviously she did that. I mean, you need to make those soul read amazing plays to win tournaments, right? So it was a pretty crazy hand, probably one of the craziest hands I've ever played, to be honest, especially given that it's final table on a 2.5K on a live stream. So definitely I copped about 28 messages saying that I was that I was bad at poker. So
it is easy when you're watching up here and you can see the cards, but that hand was on another planet. Jen's play all through last night. We had the King 4 suited. I spoke to you briefly about that. Did you have a feeling on that hand she could have had a bluff? I know you had ace-8, and you might have had some devious intentions there. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, I was really confident that I was being bluffed, to be honest, but I just didn't want to get in trouble for ICM punting off my stack with ace-8. So if I was suited, I 1,000,000% would have 5-bet jammed it, but I just she made it so large. So I made it. It was 120. I made it 390, and she made it 1.1 mil out of the big blind. 2.5 effective. So if she had made it like 900K, I would have been really sus. I think I would have probably maybe considered jamming. If I was suited, I definitely would have jammed, but it was such a big size, and I didn't want to punt off all my chips unnecessarily. I just wanted to wait for an ace-5 to punt it off, so not an ace-8. But
as Jen is having a good think about this with King High and lays that one down, Naj takes another pot. I did notice in game that was a larger size. Did that have any play? That have any Is that what made you lean towards fold? Or, you know, depending on what size she's taken in that spot? Or it was just a factor of ICM that you didn't want to put that in?
Yeah, look, ICM. I was very sus. I think if she made it 900 or 1.1, I still would have been really sus either way, to be honest. But just like, you know, the ramifications for, you know, jamming and being called would have been quite heavy. And then, you know, I think the juice probably wasn't worth the squeeze. Like, even if I do take it down, the risk of like busting, you know, 2.5 mil versus losing 390, which I'd only put in. So
yeah.
Obviously, you know, and I've got ace-8 offsuit as well at the end of the day. So I definitely was really sussed out. I didn't want to waste a time bank either. I only had like 3 left, so I didn't want to waste a time bank and talk myself into jamming. But I did use my full 30, and I was very sus. So it didn't surprise me at all when I saw the king 4 suited, to be honest. Even Jared was sus as well. He had sevens, and he even said to me privately that he was very sus too, and even thought about putting it in, but he just, same thing as me, like, you know, couldn't really risk, you know, making that risk, as we see Naj turn 2 pair here.
It's been par for the course in the last 24 hours, Liam. He's obviously plays a lot of hands, but he has been smashing boards too, and he just picks the right size every time. He gets paid when he's got it. Gets his opponent to fold when he doesn't, as Jen's in a world of hurt here.
This could be all over. This could be all over here if Naj check raises.
Let's see what Naj comes with. He's made the right decision for 3 days straight in the Goliath. Looks like that's a call. And Jen will be looking for a king, queen, or 7. And she's there. The king on the river counterfeits Naj. Haven't seen that happen too often. This is a really big pot. 3 million in the middle already. Value bet incoming from Jen Castle.
All right, we're just under an hour left. ABT feature round 2 of satellites. We have just under an hour left of buy-ins. 1 and 8 seed guarantee into the 16.50 ABT feature bounty. The buy-in is $200.
I have a feeling Naj is going to throw his arms up in the air here. He's not going to be impressed.
What's this look like? 1.7? It is 1.7 to call for Naj. I think you were right. It could have been close to at least nearly over if this counterfeit doesn't come in. But it is a card that Naj is just going to call.
Does have a great bluff catcher.
Yeah.
Very hard for Jen to triple off anything that isn't a king and only a king, so not likely to see a queen turned over when he calls. So he basically
is got a king or a bluff.
Yeah,
right?
it's a king or a bluff. Yeah, and there's quite a few missed draws on that board. So.
And now we're back to even, 9.6 million apiece. As Naj relinquishes the chip lead for the second time. The last person that did that was yourself, Liam. You got about 100k in front of Naj at one point, but he clawed it back pretty quickly. I think after you doubled through him with the kings, you called the 7-6 suited, which swung the chip lead back to Naj.
Yeah, 8-7 of spades. I think I'd probably fold 7-6. I think 8-7 was probably the bottom.
Yeah.
Versus the 3-bet. I know he's obviously overdoing it a lot, but yeah, and then I just folded flop. I just think like I'm going to be facing too much pressure post flop, and I'm not going to have enough good turn cards to basically be able to warrant continuing on. It's a little bit snug, but I think with the distributions against the player type, it's okay to fold, and obviously was happy to see that he had king 10. But
yeah, and you know that there's, even if he's got queen jack or jack 9, there's another barrel coming.
Yeah,
on
there's 1.2 is coming on the turn. I know on either way, so. Yeah. A lot of the time, maybe not against that specific hand, but a lot of the time there would be for sure. Pretty deep here, almost 100 bigs deep.
I know, it's crazy.
It's absurd.
I know, and you know, these 1 hour levels, we could be in for a long one tonight. Our registration is just closed for our rate-free satellite. So win that, and you're into the 1650 special bounty. Will you be playing that one, Liam?
Yeah, I think so. Got my mate Chris here. That he's all over it, so he was pretty keen to potentially get in the mixer. But small field at the moment, but obviously the 50k guarantee is nice if it stays small. So
Do you know the updated rules around the bounty? Have you got your head across that?
I know it was a shootout and final two make it, and there's one person's a nominated bounty or something like that. I haven't looked into it too much. I never played this event before, so
yeah.
Fill me in if you can.
Nudge flops top pair and backdoors a flush. After late reg, one player will have one player will get picked at random, and if you knock that player out, you get your buy-in back. So after late reg closes, a player will get picked, and if you knock that player out on your table, 1650 in your pocket.
Interesting. So the snow, like, is it added to the prize pool? Is it taken out of the 1650?
No, it's in the prize pool.
Part of the
1650. The bounties are part of the part of the 1650. So
yeah, it's an interesting concept. It's definitely very unique. Absolutely. Never really played a shootout tournament ever, actually. So
yeah, okay.
I definitely probably will end up flicking it in.
What else do we have on the agenda for the rest of the week?
Gonna play the grinds. I'm really looking forward to the 1500 7 max. Actually, I think that'll be a really good event, and obviously the main event too. So yeah, the grind of 7 max and main will be the ones for me.
Good evening, everyone. Our ABT feature bout Turbo Satellite is still going on upstairs. Great job. It's just on for over an hour. We are guaranteeing 2 seats to the ABT feature bounty. We currently have 12 runners, so plenty of value there. $205 to enter for the 1650 ABT feature bounty.
Do you have me crossed?
Again?
Yeah.
As Jen Castle picks up ace queen suited here, a hand she knocked you out with, Lamb.
Yeah, it's a good end.
We were just going through what's on the agenda for your week. You were keen to play that. Was it the 7 max, the 1500?
Yeah, 1500 7 max. I'm a big fan of the short-handed format. I actually prefer 7 max. I think 6 max a lot of the time you get, especially when Retro's open, you get a lot of 4-handed and 5-handed play. Yeah. Because their seats open, which is a little bit annoying sometimes. So having the 7th is nice because you're 6-handed, and I really like playing 6-handed. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I like the price point too. Usually a lot of those tournaments stay at like the sub 1K region. So getting a chunky buy-in at 1500 for that format's pretty exciting for me. And then might have a bit of a night out on Friday, mate. I heard the EH Fridays here at Eatons Hill goes pretty well.
It actually turns into a nightclub. Did you know that? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good venue actually. Probably one of my favourite venues in Australia, to be honest, to play poker at Eatons Hill. So
how good's this? You know, we've got these 2 new banners here, Luke Edwards and Nathaniel Hutton. Every main event champion gets put up in the room. Once you win a main event, did you? That should have been you at one. But it should have been you. Did you have the runners up in a main or a third or something?
Yeah, I chopped 2023. Sorry, no, 2022 actually. It was a while ago now. 2022 APT Gold Coast chopped up the main event 4 ways, but then got in Jacks V8 for the win. And got turned to 0%. So,
oh no!
It should be looking at my ugly head up there, but unfortunately I had to settle for a chop. I think it was 31K. We chopped it for 4 ways. So
there you go.
Yeah,
imagine walking into every APT series and seeing your head up on the roof every season. Nearly.
I think it would be kind of frightening, like just playing poker and just seeing your face staring at you. It would be probably a bit intimidating. So maybe it's a good thing. I would have preferred it obviously, but
yeah, of course.
I'll try and sell it, lad. I don't care.
Jen flops the eyeballs out of this one. Of course, I did mention before, not only do you get your banner up in the room of the APT, you'll take home around 50 to 60K, but you also get an event named after you at the next series, which I think this year, I think it was the 7 Max that you were talking about. It's called the Luke Edwards 7 Max Championships or something. So something that we're doing for all our main event winners as well. You'll be trying your best to have another big cash in the main. What flight are you looking to play? Have you had a good look at it, or you just kind of?
Yeah, I don't even know, mate. Like I just sort of fit it in. Like I'll usually set a precedent to play like the 1K stuff more, and then I'll just sort of squeeze in the 600s where I can. I actually, as you know, mate, have a pretty terrible record in these $600 main events. I've chopped one up for 31K, and I'm actually down. I'm down all time on 600s. So I've got a shocking record in them. But obviously, they're probably it's arguably the best event on the schedule with the amount of runs it gets and the wider horizons that it appeals to such a wide range of players. So
yeah,
I'll definitely squeeze it in and probably do 10 in it and not cash. So looking forward to it.
Well, the good part about playing so late is it'd be pretty hard for you to do 10 bullets from now, but I wouldn't put it past you, Liam.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be me.
How's things been going prior to this series? I saw you had a couple of nice cashes and chance for big money at the WPT a week ago, and even in Sydney you performed quite well too. So it's been a good start to the 2025 for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, honestly. Since August last year, since July last year, like my last 9 months has actually been the best 9 months I've ever had in my career. So it's been pretty outrageously good, to be honest. So I've had a really good 9 months, and WPT I had a small loss, but had a couple deep runs in the 2.5K Hold'em and the 3K PLO. FT'd the PLO and came I think 11th in the 2.5K. It was annoying not to capitalize. It really does annoy me like when I get those deep runs in the the 2.5Ks and just min cash and not able to capitalize. So it was really nice being able to turn this 2.5K into third place at least. Like you really got to run well at those top of the buy-in range tournaments, as like those 2.5Ks, the 5Ks and stuff. Like you really need to make sure you're converting those. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many 400s you win if you're not converting the top of the buy-in range. It's not going to look good on the spreadsheet. So
Jen lays that one down. Naj putting on max pressure. Getting Jen to fold top pair on the 4-heart board. What's it like playing against Naj? You only see him in these bigger buy-ins, obviously known for playing really high stakes. Got about 2.5 million USD in cashes. What is it like playing at the same table as Naj when he's got the mountain of chips that he's got?
Well, you don't play him if he doesn't have a mountain of chips. He's either got a mountain or none. There's no 20 BB, dodging and weaving, scraping together pots. It's either a million plus chips at 10K big blind or it's none, and it's back to the rebuy cage. But Naj is a legend. I really like him. He's a really good guy, and he's really good at poker, especially PLO. So he's never easy to play against, but he's always a fun time, and I try and sort of do the same thing. I try and always have a laugh at the table, and not take it too seriously when it's it's a pleasure to be playing these tournaments, especially for a job. So why would you not be having fun, right?
As Jen flops the eyeballs out of this, Naj raises and Jen calls. Flop goes check, check, and Naj, of course, backdoors into top pair. It's been pretty unbelievable ever since he called that 3-bet versus Tom Maguire with the 6-4 suited and got the 6-6-4 flop. Tom turned the nut flush draw and it was all over. No one's really got near Naj other than yourself for about 2 or 3 hands, and then as soon as you've got the chip lead off him, he's got it right back. So Jen not going anywhere on this board. Flush draw, front door flush gets in. Jen has the ace of diamonds in her hand. Comes with check.
This will be chunk. Oh, wow.
Check, check.
I'm surprised. I thought there was going to be a nice
you never know with
two-third
You never know
there.
with Naj. He'll do things like, he'll raise 10-7-0, hijack, and then he'll just fold like ace-5 under the gun, and then the next hand. I think it's all dependent on who's in the blinds for Naj. He's got his plays he likes to attack, but, the 7-4, the 10-7, the 6-4, he just really, really gets amongst it. But you do see that stuff from time to time. Doesn't often would check back top pair, especially heads up, but
He's all about the vibes.
He's all about the vibes, is Naj. Might be the way to go too, because he's got 2.5 million in cashes in USD. We just play for the vibes.
Play for the vibes. Yeah, I heard you on the stream talking about how there was like 10.5 mil earnings or something on the table, and I was like, geez, like I was looking around, and I was like, yeah, that adds up. I mean, Toby, Thatcher, and Naj have got like 6 mil US, and then me and Jen have got like 400 each or whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, it adds up.
Jen looking to add to that. There was 410. I think yourself got 350, but the conversion does help. The AUD to USD conversion does help. So it was about 6.5 mil USD, which around is probably closing in on 10.5, 11 million AUD in cashes with 5 remaining. It's pretty incredible. FT.
Yeah, it's an average of what, 2 mil each. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You wouldn't even expect that on like last 2 tables of an Australian 2.5K, let alone last 5 players.
And big chunk of that coming through Toby Joyce. He came second in the WPT 5 Diamond for 1.2 USD back in 2019. So that makes up for half his cashes. But I did notice he took down the 10K at Melbourne Crown Poker Championships in December. So he's been in Australia for some time. But yeah, so 1.1 of that 6.6 came through that one score of the total cashes of the FT, but obviously very experienced player for a long time. Have you played with Toby much in the last couple of months?
Yeah, I played with him a reasonable amount. We played together in about October last year was the first time. I think he literally just arrived in Australia, and we were talking and having a chat. He was saying that he thought the poker in Australia was just unbelievable. Just like, he just thought it was like, wow, like, why would I ever leave this place? So he was a little bit taken aback, I guess, by the quality of player in this tournament, because there were so many good players playing. So,
mate, 3 tables left. I had a quick wander through the room. It was actually, it's like you wouldn't play for free nearly with the amount of players that were left with three tables in. It was just it was probably 10 or 15 of the best players in Australia left with 25 left.
Yeah,
did you feel that as well?
It was a really tough. Like the field, I think overall was actually reasonably balanced. Maybe slightly tougher than a usual 2.5K, but not much to notice. And then like I think it just sort of the way variance and just sort of ciphered out to be that a lot of the recreationals had busted. Through variance, and then just a lot of the really good pros were left, and it was, I was looking around, and it was exactly what you said. There was probably 2/3 of the field were, full-time players, and even the recreationals that were left, there were quite a few like handy players left. There wasn't the Rob Spanos and stuff. Like it wasn't just It wasn't just Bob from Mafra that had just satellited in, it wasn't just Margaret from Toowoomba that was playing. Like it was definitely a tough field. But I don't mind that. Obviously, it's tougher, but it's more of a challenge, and I feel like you can play more of a natural game instead of sort of making those exploits. It's harder to get yourself in trouble because you sort of just default back to your original strategy and theory, which is cool. So
yeah, very cool. As Naj raises the king to offsuit. Called by Jen's 10-5 suited. We are still 75 effective deep here, heads up in the Goliath. $65,000 to the winner. It's a $25,000 heads up match. Whoever wins will take home 65 and second place is 40K. And if you are just joining us, we do have Liam Jehu in the booth with us, commentating us through to the end of the event.
Bets 550.
I'll be the no showdown then, maybe. Five high.
2
as we rejoin you here. Liam Jehu in the booth with us, just busted in third for $27,000, a chip and a chair. And Liam, question for you in the chat: what can you recommend as a learning tool for recreational players? I know you joked it with me off stream, it's just to watch Naj, but you couldn't go astray. What are your thoughts on there? How did you get started, and what tools did you use still?
As a learning tool, like a good start is just watching YouTube. That's what I did. Just a lot of videos online. Just watching good players play poker can never be bad for you, right? Because like, you end up emulating and trying out. That's what I did. I just watched a lot of YouTube videos, and just there's so much free stuff you can use online. You don't need to buy all these expensive courses and stuff. Like obviously you can use like GTO Wizard and these other tools and stuff, HRC, like when you're getting to an advanced level. But there's so much free content on YouTube that you can use that could really just like level up your game. And you have to remember, like, as a recreational player, if you're probably playing these like 200s to 600s a lot, for these like local guys in Brisbane. It's like you don't need to know how Phil Ivey's gonna combat a check raise 30 effective. You don't need to know that. You just need to know how to beat the players you're playing against. So yeah, just YouTube would be my suggestion.
And it's so much good free content as well, right? So a lot of those courses can be really expensive, but there's so much competition now that you could. Do you really believe that you can become a profitable long-term player just based off YouTube? Do you think?
I think so. Yeah. If you're playing like in these Australian tournaments, like we're blessed to have some of the best tournaments, we'll say, going around like with the fields and stuff. Like, we have a lot of recreational players and a lot of people that like to gamble in Australia as well, as we've seen Naj turn it straight. So we're lucky enough where you can definitely get past, especially if you're playing, just your local series here or there. Like, absolutely, YouTube will get you a long way. As this just about sums up our coverage of the last 2 days. Jen with a straight draw as well, but Naj turns her dead to a chop. Comes with half pot. Did you notice Naj pick a lot of bigger size, especially in big pots, in 3-bet pots and whatnot? Did you notice, Naj really was putting pressure on with pretty unconventional stuff that you don't see too often in 3-bet pots with larger sizes? Did that something that you noticed and had a plan for? Yeah, he definitely, like, that's part of the reason why I folded the 7 and that 8, when I had 8-7 suited on ace 10-7, because I know that he does tend to do larger bet sizes than the norm. And it's how he accumulates so many chips. He puts max pressure on, and then when he plays pots, they're clown pots, they're big pots. Yeah. So that's why he always accumulates so many chips. He's always, lowering the SBR because he wants to get stacks in when he's got value, and he wants to put max pressure on when he's got bluffs. So it's a pretty sick style, and it works really well in heads up as well. We're sort of seeing him sort of somewhat run over Jen here. We're seeing he's just putting in a lot of big aggression here. Really just putting her to the test, which is, Jen's not an easy player to play against. And it's nothing against Jen, but when she had the top pair, there's 4 hearts on board. Naj fires again for big. Like, what are you going to do? Yeah, exactly. What can you do when because the time that you do take a stand and call, he's just going to show up with a boat, or he's going to show up with a straight. When I called with Jax yesterday, I'm like, I just had enough. He'd overbet the river, and I'm like, nah, I call. Got to block up blockers. I do remember that hand. Full house, buddy. Like, yeah, that's when you take the stand, you get it wrong. When you fold, he's got a bluff. So that's. Yeah, it's just he's pretty sick, Naj. Like, Jen not getting the best distribution here, and when you're playing against the player of a style of Naj, it's very hard to overcome, as Liam gives us his insights into playing against him. I do remember that Jack's hand, you decided to check that 9 high, was it the 9 high flop, and Naj turned the 2 pair? Yep. 8-7-5 mono, yeah. Yeah, and then he turned to the 9 and rivered the 9, right? Yeah, so backdoor to boat. Yeah. I just check back flop, just like range advantage for him, and my hand still performs well on a lot of turn cards, obviously with the flush draw. So I'm pretty much only protecting against like offsuit Queen and King X, maybe like some 6X or whatever that makes straights. But even then, I've obviously still got good equity with the flush draw. So I was happy to check back. I didn't want to like.
Do you know how many outs you had on the turn?
Probably flipping.
No, you had 22 outs. Only 4 of them folded. So you had like 18 real outs on the turn, but Naj just finds the boat on the river.
Yeah.
I think it was something like, it was 21, 22 outs on the turn. It was pretty crazy. On our new skin, when you have the folded outs, the outs actually crossed the entirety of the of the screen, like the half deck.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Naj found that full house on the river as we're working with about 60 effective here. Jen down to 6.2 million. When I say down to, she's still got 62 bigs. We're very deep and we could be here for some time. Don't go anywhere though. 2 of Australia's best at it, heads up. If you are a fan of Australian poker, wouldn't be going anywhere at all. What's on for you after APT in terms of live tournaments, mate?
I'm going to head back to Melbourne for a week because I live there apparently, even though I'm never there. So I'm going to head back there for a week and then I'm jetting over to APO in Sydney at the Dalton House, which is going to be a pretty sick series. I didn't actually go last year because I had other things on, but yeah, pretty keen for that. And just booked the accommodation with the king himself, Anthony Russo. So
shout out to APL Million third place getter Anthony Russo. He'll be watching along. Third for $305,000. As you did mention, you're going to the APO. Jen's top there is an APO merchandise top. We do have a few questions in the chat about what the Australian Poker Open is. It's its second running this year, and it was a huge success last year. So you're looking forward to that. $3.5K main or $3,300 main event.
Yeah, it should be pretty sick. And they've got 10K, 20K, 5K, and they've got a bunch. They've got a 350 bucker that's 500K guaranteed, which is absurd.
Yeah,
I've never seen a $350 get guaranteed $500,000 before. Maybe in Vegas at a WSOP, but not in Australia. So that's pretty sick. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. It's such a great place to play poker as well. It's really well run, great venue, and the players as well. They get a lot of locals in Sydney. So
yeah,
that's gonna be a good one. And then after that, head back home to Crown/Play Live.
Yeah, true. Forgot that series was on. It actually started today, I think, that Crown series. So, but if you are looking for massive prize pools, small buy-ins, APO would be the way to go. You can see Jen's got the official merchandise on there. Good friends of ours as well here at APT. And Naj here picking up pocket tens.
It's just unfair, isn't it?
It's just felt unfair watching this for days, to be honest.
He ducks when he should dive, eh? Bobs when he should weave. He just finds a way.
As Jared Thatcher would say, our APT ambassador, he bops and weaves. Is Jen thinking of 3-betting this one? Most likely. Double-handed grab for chips. It looks about 800.
You think Naj will 4-bet here?
I absolutely will, but he just says all in.
He says, cop that, mate.
Yeah. And Jen trying to fight back, but unfortunately, she's just run into it again. When you're playing someone like Naj, you just really need that distribution to go your way, and Jen fighting back as hard as she possibly can. Finds the 3-bet there with King 6, but runs into the top of Naj's range. And to sum up what you said at the start of the hand, it's just unfair.
The one time you take a stand, he's just got it. The one time you don't take a stand, he's got nothing.
7-4 offsuit.
It's just how it works. It's just how it works with Naj.
Still working with 50 effective. Jen got around 50 bigs. Wouldn't be going anywhere though, as Naj.
I think I've given you 2.
I feel like Naj got a walk with a very big hand then. Shows Jen. And no matter who comes second, they'll be walking away with at least 40,000 Australian dollars. Jen looking to cap off an incredible year on the felt. Naj been a mainstay in Australian poker for some time. Of course, Jen, former dealer here, turned professional poker player with about 700,000 AUD in cashes over the last few years. Pretty incredible pathway for her, as Naj has ace queen again after the pocket tens. And Jen with jacks. Oh, we're 50 effective, Liam, but this might be going in. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't see a world where this doesn't just go 3-bet to about 1 mil and then Naj just jams again, especially after he jammed the 10s and showed a 10 as well.
And that's a snap jam. It'll be a snap call from Jen. And that's it. We are all in. Jennifer Castle at risk. She will have 9.4 million and be closing in on Naj's chip lead if she holds. If she doesn't, it's all over and Naj will be taking down the Goliath. They've still got a flop, turn and river.
Off to the races we go.
Jen looking for a safe board to stay alive. $65,000 up top, and we get the King 7-3. No backdoor spades for any player.
Do it, Jacob.
Naj looking for an ace or a queen. Some backdoor straight stuff happening. That ends that. It will be an ace or a queen for Naj. No backdoor straight available. It'll be a pair and a pair only to win it. Jen dodging the ace or queen to stay alive. It doesn't come in. Naj rivers the ace, and I hate to say it, but with what we've seen over the last 2 days, I felt like that was always coming.
Inevitable. Absolutely inevitable.
Naj very happy with himself. That's such a disappointment for Jen because she holds there and we are back to even, 95 bigs effective. We would have been here for another couple of hours, but Naj finds the ace on the river. And he certainly provided a lot of enjoyment for us here in the booth and for everyone at home. What a run from Australia's best female and one of the best players in the country, Jen Castle. Just had to dodge that ace or queen on the river, couldn't do it. And that'll be it. Naj wins the $2,500 Goliath. Amazing play from Jen to get second for $40,000 as she's off and away. Lots of love for both players in the chat. Liam, thanks so much. You came third in this event. It was really good to get your insights and wish you luck for the rest of the series. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
And that'll be it for our coverage. We'll be back later on tonight to stream the bounty, I believe, but not 100% sure what the plans are. Keep your eyes out for updates on the Facebook page. But congratulations to one of Australia's best, Naj, doing it again here for $65,000. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for commenting in the chat. And thanks for watching. We'll be with you later on tonight. Bye, everybody.
Am I able to request that? Am I able to